there. Today we're going to be talking about exercise in you. Um, so, what is exercise? What do you think exercise is? Do you think it's important to exercise? Why or why not? Do you think you get enough exercise? Do you think as a young person it's not important to exercise right now, but it will be later on in life? Um, this is kind of the direction we're going to be taking today. I really want us to be able to discuss and talk about exercise and what we think it is, and how it affects you, and how do you think it'll affect your life in the long run. Um, this is when we would have a 20-minute discussion on exercise, what you think exercise is, how does it affect your life, do you exercise, just kind of a general discussion on exercise in general. Okay, some of the things we're going to be learning today are about 4 different types of exercise. I would say these are probably the most important types of exercise there is, and it kind of covers an entire aspect of things. So there's endurance, which is, running, swimming, biking. Endurance athletes do things like the Tour de France, they do Ironmans, um, long distance swimming, long distance running, like marathons. Those are all endurance athletes. Has to do with the strength of your heart, and how good that your heart's a muscle, so how good it's working, and how good can it keep you going for the distance. Can you endure through whatever it is to get to where you need to go. Next, we're going to talk about creating fitness plans for different types of people. We're eventually going to partner up and make fitness plans for our partners, and cater to the needs that they have, whether it's I want to be stronger in my upper body, or I want to lose 10 pounds. Whatever it may be, we're going to try to cater to them and make a fitness plan that works for them. And I have examples of this, and we'll talk about it more as we go on. So first, let's talk about stereotypes in exercise. I think that there's a lot of stereotypes regarding exercise, like if you lift a lot of weights, you're going to get really bulky, or if you run a lot, you're going to be really thin and never have any muscle. None of these things are necessarily true. I think that with exercise, you have to do all 4 of these aspects to be a complete, a fit person. You need to have the strength, you need to have the flexibility, the balance, and the endurance to do what you want to do. They all go hand in hand with each other. Do you think that doing different types of exercise are beneficial? Do you think that it's not important, that you can just lift weights or you can just run and you'll be fine? What about for older people? Do you think that they need to have different types of routines because they are older and they're not as young as you? So different things like that. Also, with your sports, I'm sure a lot of you play sports. What kind of exercises do you do with that? Do you do, circuit training? Do you do weightlifting? You run? Do you do all of the above? I'm sure that you probably do a lot of these things if you are an athlete. So the different types of exercise. There's endurance. Like I said before, it's like cardio. You're working your heart. Your heart's a muscle. It pumps blood through your body, gives oxygen to your muscles, and in turn they work. Endurance is important. You have to have a cardio routine to be a complete fit person. Strength. This is also important. This is mainly consisting of lifting weights, body weight exercises, things like that. This is to build muscle. Endurance, typically you can, to build muscle and lose fat. You can also do cardio with weightlifting, but mainly it's to build muscle. These are things like deadlifts, bench press, squats, any dumbbell exercise, things like that. Flexibility. Flexibility and balance, I think, go hand in hand. With flexibility, there's lots of stretches you can do. Yoga is a big, big, big flexibility thing. That's really what it's about, and you can get in really good shape doing that type of thing. It's very important to stay limber and be flexible. That way, when you are lifting heavy weights or running a lot, your muscles aren't tightening up or you're not getting hurt. On that note, it is very important to not stretch cold muscles. You need to warm them up before you stretch. I typically run a couple laps around the field before I stretch to make sure I'm warm. That way, it prevents injury. It's important to stretch before and after you exercise to prevent injury. And the last one is balance. Balance is also really important. If you look at all the top athletes in the world, I bet they all have balance exercise routines. There's lots of different routines you can do for this. A lot of it's just standing on one leg while you're brushing your teeth or something like that will help with your balance and help with your overall fitness. These are videos and clips of different types of balance exercises and flexibility, everything that goes under. I actually can't click on them because it's on my phone and the PowerPoint won't pull up, but they are videos. I would plan on showing them, maybe not in their full entirety because they're like 15 minutes long, but taking clips and giving different examples of these exercises so they could actually see what I was talking about when I talk about flexibility and endurance and balance and things like that for people who are more kind of visual people. Okay, so next is muscle groups. You have lots and lots of muscles in your body, and they're grouped together, and they all do different things and work different areas of your body. When you hear people talking about leg day or chest day or back day, when normally people work out groups of muscles together and then give those muscles a rest and work out a different group. I think this is really important to understand and know because you don't want to overwork a certain group of muscles. This can lead to injury, and you're not getting the progress that you want. This is a nice chart. It shows you all the groups of muscles are coordinated, color coordinated, and shows you where they all are and how they work and things like that. Endurance. So with endurance, the key is to keep your heart rate between certain numbers. Like if you're trying to lose weight, for me personally, I like to keep my heart rate between like 130 and 140. It's different for different people, but it gives you an idea of what you need to do to hit a target rate or what you want to do. Whether it's light jogging or heavy, intense, like running. So it's a good chart to give you ideas of, what you can do, how long to do it, tips for doing it better, or things you shouldn't do. Yeah. So next is stretching. Stretching, like I said before, is very important when it comes to exercising. I think you should do it before you exercise. I think you should do it after you exercise. It's a good way to keep your muscles trained, keep them loose, keep them limber, and prevent injury. I think preventing injury is the most important thing that we can do as people who want to help people exercise. We don't want someone getting hurt because then they have to sit out and then they revert back to different ways and things like that. This next chart is strength training. So it gives you different techniques and different ways of lifting for different types of lifts. When it comes to weightlifting, technique is everything. Otherwise, you're going to hurt yourself. Technique, technique, technique. You have to get it down. It needs to be muscle memory before you're lifting heavier weights because you don't want to pull out your back or pull your hamstrings or anything like that. So this is a nice chart that gives you an idea of how you should be standing and how the muscles and the bones work when you're doing these certain types of lifts. So do you understand the differences between the exercises? Can you classify based on the group? So if I give you 4 different exercises like running, deadlifts, like a downward dog yoga pose, and a single leg good morning on a boat stew, could you group all of those together and pick which one goes with which exercise group? So endurance, flexibility, balance, and strength. Or do they all go together? I think that a lot of these can be intertwined and go together, and you can use them for different aspects of your fitness. And last but not least, this is a fitness plan. So this is what your fitness plan eventually will look like. It gives you every day of the week, every exercise is named, the muscle group is named, how many sets, how many reps, and how much to rest in between. These are, I think, when you're working with a partner or with a client, it's really important to help them understand what they're working, how they're working it, and that they should rest. A lot of people are very gung-ho about exercise and they don't want to take breaks. And like I said, this leads to injury. Injury is bad. So when we start making our fitness plans, this is how we're going to model them, and then we'll go from there. So thank you.